I'm curious as to your take on this one. So this is something that I found this from March 13th, 2018. So it was when they were getting ready to draft Baker Mayfield. It's from Deion Sanders, Coach Prime. Love what the Browns have done in the offseason. If I'm a young quarterback, ain't no way I'm going to Cleveland. I would pull an Eli Manning if possible. So that's forcing your way out of it, San Diego at the point. Since then, the Browns have failed to develop Baker Mayfield as the number one overall pick. I mean, he had a good year and they've moved on from him. How concerning is that? And again, you're level-headed. You've been doing this a long time. How concerning is that when you see Deion Sanders, knowing what kind of personality he is? How concerning is that?
Well, I think that's the red flag, Dave, that everybody in Cleveland kind of, when they hear something like that, they start thinking, oh boy, here we go. OBJ's dad or somebody else's dad is all of a sudden getting involved in the process. And yeah, listen, he's Deion Primetime Sanders, right? I mean, he's a Hall of Fame player. He has strong opinions on everything. It'd be interesting to see if he's going to become the Dallas Cowboys next coach, which somebody had whispered to me 2 or 3 years ago was probably going to happen at some point just because of the relationship that he's got with the Cowboys and with Jerry Jones. But I don't think people should be scared off by comments that Primetime made 6 years ago. Listen, the Browns quarterback situation has undergone all kinds of transformations, let alone in the last 6 weeks or 6 months, never mind the last 6 years. So, listen, they've had issues with at the quarterback position. That goes without saying. And they took a big swing 3 years ago with Deshaun Watson, and that hasn't worked out. So, unfortunately, I think from the Browns standpoint, they're kind of right back where they were 3 years ago. And I think what we fail to realize sometimes too is that Joe Burrow is a different quarterback than he was 3 years ago. And guess what? So is Patrick Mahomes. So is Lamar Jackson. So is Justin Herbert. You go right on down the line. So while the Browns had those problems, 6 and 3 years ago, they're still here now. But in terms of prime time, I wouldn't take too much of what he says, especially 6 years ago, at face value.